Shout out to LTTV.
Shout out to brother LTTV.
Shout out to LTTV.
Shout out to LTTV.
Shout out to brother LTTV.
Shout out to LTTV.
I would be crying, absolutely.
Dude, so kind of what's your take, Anton, on this whole situation, brother?
You know, honestly, as much as I don't, because, you know, obviously I don't, their content is not for me. Let's just say it like that, right? But I'm also on the fence because on one end, you and I both know how difficult it is to be able to build a platform. And I believe that they worked very, very hard.
We don't care.
Let me tell you, we don't care.
Right? Like, I really do. I know that them dudes put in the work. Even though their content may not be my cup of tea, I know they put in the work.
Stop the cap.
On the flip side of it, though, I also understand it from the perspective of how you may paint it, because you were on the receiving end of a lot of the, you know what I'm saying, a lot of the hits and the stuff that they tried to do as far as taking away your monetization. Thank God that didn't happen and everything like that, right? But then at the same time...
But then again, nothing, bitch ass nigga. You being unaccountable as fuck. Yeah, LTTV, Blunt Talk with LT, back at it with another video. All right, let's get right into this one. Shout out to Sir Chai 87 with the $2 super chat.
I'm getting rich.
Anton and Pearl need to stop sending false copyright, and that's exactly why Anton and Pearl are being unaccountable as fucking caping for Fresh and Fit, because they know that they fucked with the copyright system. They were false flagging with the copyright strikes when folks were doing reactions, cooking their ass. So they know they're guilty of it too, and their platform could have potentially been in jeopardy, because lead attorney went through the entire history of Fresh and Fit trying to put 10 copyright strikes against the lead attorney in the past. Anton Daniels and Pearl are a part of that group. They let Kevin Samuels off the hook, RIP, back then, because folks don't stand on principle. They point at who they don't like. They pick and choose. But let's get it, y'all.
It's like, but they young. You know what I'm saying? They're not as wise as maybe you are. Maybe that. It's like I get it because
You hear all these excuses? Oh, they're young. They're not as wise. They built that platform up. They're always teaching accountability. They're manosphere red pill content creators. We don't want to hear that shit.
All due respect, shut the hell up. I don't want to hear that.
But then at the same time, it's like, but they young. You know what I'm saying? They're not as wise as maybe you are. Maybe that. It's like I get it because maybe it was karma, you know, that came back to haunt them. But then at the same time, as a content creator, I just never want to see somebody lose their platform that worked so hard for it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like I'm kind of on the fence just from the perspective of.
Now, Anton is a contrarian. He acts like he has no nuance and context doesn't matter when you say these things. Like everything is just a blanket statement. No content creator wants a content creator that put in hard work in their platform to unjustly lose their platform. Keyword, unjustly. These fuck niggas were coming for everybody's platform. If YouTube had not done their due diligence and combed through the copyright things the correct way, a lot of folks would have lost their platform due to their fuckery. But then they want to come to us. They want to come back.
Crying to me, and I'm not having that.
And this is the problem. They have not lost their platform. Their platform is still actively there. They lost their monetization. When my channel was sniped falsely by YouTube, which they said, oh, my bad, my mistake. I was down for 6 to 8 months on Blunt Talk with LT. They sniped it incorrectly on their mistake. I lost the entire channel, not just the monetization, the entire channel, the whole catalog. These guys still have their catalog and their whole channel up. Their monetization is down. This doesn't seem like it's something that will be permanent. It may be reversed. Who knows?
I may not have cared for them. I may not have cared for their content. I may not have cared for some of the things that they did. But then at the same time, I just don't want to see nobody get hit that big. You know what I'm saying? I'm never rooting for somebody to lose their platform, but I can also understand why they may have lost their platform.
Now, see this disingenuous framing? Nobody's rooting for them to lose their platform. They were just unaccountable. They took the Pearly playbook, but they got their Negro wake-up call. Ain't that what you call it? They thought they can do the same shit as Pearl, the same anti-Semitic racist shit that Pearl was getting away with. They thought they can do it on their platform. They found out real quick that it ain't going that way. Let's get back into this though.
You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. It's just a weird space that I'm in. Is because I may not like every content creator, but I don't want to see them lose no money. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, this nigga's lying through his teeth. If you don't want to see content creators losing money, why were you false flagging channels? He tried to take down Duke the Don's channel. Who else got false copyrights from Anton Daniels? If y'all in the chat speak up now, there was a bunch of content creators complaining about it in the past. A bunch of content creators made videos. I even made a video, I think I made a video covering it, that he joined the copyright police. So what are we talking about, Anton? Revising history once again? Doing what Kevin Samuels did? Like, come on, man. Actually, Kevin Samuels was worse, actually. He went in on them and didn't, you know.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I might be wrong.
Yeah, I mean, there's just consequences to shit. You know what I'm saying? It's
I understand that.
That's the only thing. And it's deep. You know, I remember when the Lapeef network got sat out over something that wasn't even y'all's fault, right?
Right.
And I actually had a stream to try to help y'all get back on Lapeef.
Now, they say it wasn't Lapeef's fault, but they were streaming overnight hours. That's when Lapeef followed the Anton playbook and was having folks on his channel, run his channel, streaming overnight hours, and then somebody jumped on the panel and did some shit that Feats tried to do. The same shit Feats tried to do. Now, you can't say that it wasn't their fault. You have to be accountable for your platform. If Feats had got my platform fucked up from the shit that he did, that would have been an L for me to hold for not fixing up my call-in link where people can just jump on without my permission and guiding them through the, you know, the... Hold on. What do we call this shit? The system where I manually add it. I can't phrase it any better. I had to switch up my system. But if he got my shit taken down, that would have been on me. Me not being accountable for setting up the system properly to get the calls in without trolls.
Was on there. You were on there. Kevin Samuels came up. He was on there.
Yep.
Like, I understand about content creators trying to stick together, but it's one thing for me to try to support you guys to get y'all's channel back up when YouTube took it offline because of an error.
Yeah.
Another thing for me to support you when you actually try to get other content creators deplatformed. And
Oh yeah, that is true. It was an error because they took it down immediately. That would have been at least a strike, not an actual takedown of the entire platform. So it was an error ultimately when they took down Lapeef's platform. But let's get it.
demonetized and get their channels taken down.
And that's why I'm on the fence, because I would be able to support it more if that wasn't the case.
Wait, why are you on the
know what I'm
fence?
saying?
Creators deplatformed and demonetized and get their channels taken down.
And that's why I'm on the fence, because I would be able to support it more if that wasn't the case. You know what I'm saying? If they had lost their platform over doing something that wasn't related to other content creators, then that would be different. You know, but I don't think that the one reason why I'm leaning more towards I have less sympathy is just simply because I don't think that they would have cared if you'd have lost your platform. You know what I'm saying? I don't
What do
think
you mean they wouldn't have cared. They hired an attorney.
No. What I'm saying is, I don't think that they would have as much empathy or compassion for you, right? They wouldn't have the same compassion that I have for them and saying that I don't want to see them lose their platform. If you would have lost your platform, they would have celebrated. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't have it.
Does this nigga forget they tried to take down his platform? What kind of dumbass statement is that? Of course they wouldn't have give a fuck. They tried to take down his platform the same way you tried to take down other people's platforms. Goddamn hypocrite. And you're acting like you would give a fuck. You would not care because you were trying to take down folks' platforms. And who's looking, somebody's looking very suspect in the light right now. One of Anton's minions, that pussy that put out that slander video on me and deleted that shit right after my account was suspended for a week. He's looking real suspect in the light right now. Why are you hiding your hands, sir? Why are you throwing rocks and hiding your hands now? Man, coward.
As much compassion from that perspective, because it's like you reap what you sow. You know what I'm saying? I just, in a general sense, like I don't like to see people get doxxed. I don't like to see people lose their jobs. I don't like to see any of that because I know what it feels like to lose your platform. You know what I'm saying? So that's all it is. It's really just looking at it from two different lenses. First, from the content creator's lens, and then looking at it from their perspective, and that maybe they just reaped what it is that they sold, and that they tried to go after so many different content creators unjustifiably, and they just got what it is that they had coming to them, I guess. I don't think that they ever thought that was going to happen.
So why were you taking the other side if you understand what happened to them? This nigga just has to be a contrarian. He has to take the other side of every matter to annoy folks. That's the way he gets his buzz. Like, he has to be a shock jock contrarian type nigga.
To them because of the type of revenue and how big they have become. And so that arrogance is kind of the thing that then was their undoing, because if they were smaller, they probably would have been a little bit more cautious in how they move. But I think that the fact that they got big is the thing that then put them at that disposition of where they thought that they was untouchable. And nobody is untouchable. Absolutely.
Right. Not on YouTube. Not on YouTube, no matter how big you get. Now, the bigger you are, the more chances you might get. Yeah. But at the end of the day, if you start putting YouTube in a bad light, then that's going to jeopardize YouTube being able to get advertisers.
What do you think was the straw that broke the camel's back, though? Because
kind of dumbass question is that? They were building a resume. It wasn't the man. Come on. Shout out to Anti-Gravity 74 with the $5 super chat.
I'm getting rich.
Says, sheesh, you're putting in work today, LTTV. Shout out to you.
I'm getting rich.
Shout out to John with the $5 super chat. Lead attorney and Anton, 2 members of the round table of weak ninja energy. Just need F&F, Charleston White, Fleece, Donald Cuck, Simp, and Zesty Boy. That's facts. See, Lead picks and chooses. Lead wants to be diplomatic with everything. Lead doesn't hold people to principle. It's picking and choosing. When he did the thing, what he did with Kevin Samuels and caped for Kevin Samuels, knowing that he violated the same shit with the copyright system and was trying to give people guidelines on how to react to the material. He knew he was guilty of that too. He didn't want to hold him to the same standard and principle. These guys gave him the pass. R.I.P. to Kevin Samuels, but come on, man, you got to keep it consistent when you're holding people accountable.
Because it was a lot of stuff over a long period of time. You know what I'm saying? And then it just seemed like it just happened out of nowhere. Like it didn't happen immediately after they had did the whole hood thing. It didn't happen immediately, you know, after they had did the whole monkey thing or whatever like that. It just kind of seemed like it happened after a period of time in which nothing was happening at that time. And so it's like, I don't know what the straw was that broke the camel's back as far as YouTube determining that they no longer wanted them to be on the platform.
Yeah, I think it's one of two things. You know, I think,
And it wasn't YouTube determining they didn't want them to be on the platform because their content is still readily available and accessible. They're not monetized, and YouTube does not owe anybody partnership and monetization, especially when they're constantly campaigning for Rumble. You have all these folks signing these Rumble deals, and they're constantly campaigning and moving their audience to Rumble and cutting the show short and moving their audience over to Rumble. They seen this coming. They seen this play coming, and they have not shared the details. Like Night Talk and many other content creators, when they got sniped for their monetization, they showed the details. They're hiding their details. Who knows? They could have taken off their super chats, taken off the super thanks. Ads may run on their content regardless because ads run on content that's not even part of the monetization program because YouTube's gonna eat whether you like it or not. So we don't know what they could. This could be temporary. This could have been. A lot of people lose their monetization temporarily and get it back. We don't know. Nonetheless, they have not been deplatformed. All their content is still there.
I think that it's either the whole Nick thing and
Nick, okay.
him wilding out and, you know, wilding out with the hood. And, you know, anytime you pull out a hood and you're making cracks about the Jewish community, I think
It's all of that. It's the Nick Fuentes, banned content creators constantly showing up on their platform, which is completely against the guidelines. You can't keep platforming these banned creators. The anti-Semitic rhetoric, the black racial rhetoric, or racist rhetoric.
only a matter of time. I think YouTube is going to do its due diligence once you start doing that. So it's not like you're going to do that stream on a Thursday and your channel's gone that Friday, right? And YouTube might really look at it. They need to talk because that channel makes them millions.
Yeah.
YouTube, I want you guys to know that YouTube demonetizing that one channel, Fresh and Fit, is equivalent to like YouTube demonetizing like 1,000 regular channels. Like, big
More than that. More than that.
They need to really discuss what the hell's going on. But then
I think
also,
they'll figure it out though. Honestly.
Can we get these likes up, y'all?
Come on, man.
Either they're going to become super villains and become bitter as a result of it, or it's going to humble them and it's going to give them a, you know what I'm saying, a reality check, and it's going to allow for them to be able to make the difference. One thing though that I'm wondering is that I'm wondering if they adjusted their lifestyle to how much money that they was making on YouTube.
well, let's be honest, like we all do. Hopefully they saved.
That's what I'm saying. I'm wondering if they adjusted it to the point to where
We don't care.
Let me tell you.
We don't care.
Now, shout out to Lito. Lito was in the chat. Lito was the nigga that cooked King Richard. Shout out to you. Shout out to Henry with the $10 super chat.
I'm getting rich.
Keep going, bro. This fake Rick Ross is annoying. Notice they don't have a problem with Nick Fuentes speaking about black Americans. Of course they don't have problems. They don't have problems with nothing that would be standing up for their own folks. They don't get on code. They get on what the money says. Especially Anton Daniels is focused on this nigga. This nigga's a complete sellout. You know what? It gets so bad with the lead attorney and some of these folks when it comes to not staying consistent that O'Shea Duke Jackson put out a video talking about the lead attorney holds just Pearly things accountable. And what he did was use the fact that principally he held somebody else accountable for what Pearl did, but he didn't actually call out Pearl. So he had to draw the parallel that if he's holding this person accountable, it still follows under the same wing as her being held to task. But the problem is he never actually said anything to Just Pearly Things or about Just Pearly Things to be diplomatic. So it's like you can't say that he held her accountable when he actually didn't. You're like, the point goes to be consistent, but he didn't actually do that. Why? Why didn't he do that? Come on, man. You can't keep caping for sellouts, man. People want to play the diplomatic game, and you want to be all this pro-black, and I'm going to look out for all these niggas, but you're looking out for sellouts. You're looking out for people that will sell you out and corrupt at the top. So it's like you're part of the problem at the end of the day. You want to be a part of the solution, but when you support sellouts, you become a part of the problem. People that completely get off code for their own financial agenda can't support these folks.
You know, was it really that impactful to where it's
But I am going to use their content and make money.
I'm leaving here with something. You know what I mean? I'm from around the way. I'm leaving with something.
Shout out to Random University with the $10 Cash App. Looking for a message here. Yeah, you didn't send a message, but shout out to you.
I'm getting rich.
really gonna mess up everything? Because they said they had like 20 employees or something like that. I can't imagine they're gonna keep all of them employees at all. Not even. The first thing you do is start cutting costs.
100%, and it's usually like,
yeah, they came back complaining to the public like, oh, we have all this employees, we have all this overhead, we need money for y'all, so y'all need to sign up for X, Y, and Z. And it's like, my nigga, those are your problems. You need to cut down staff.
We don't care.
Let me tell you.
We don't care.
rent and employees are going to be your biggest expenses in a business, you know. And I guess they had to move because they were saying that their apartment complex kicked them out. They didn't want them shooting there anymore. So who knows where they'll be now.
They had to move when they got kicked off or afterwards.
Well, I thought they said in the stream that
they announced in the stream that they have to move, but they got the notification that they had to move prior to that.
In the emergency meeting stream, Fresh was like, yeah, no, what's the short one? He was like, yeah, we got a new place. And the tall one was like, man, he didn't want the short one to say that. He wanted it to.
Okay, so Lee just said Fresh's name, and then he said the short one. So you're going out of your way to not, like, you're talking about Fresh and Fit. Why would you even say the short one? We know which ones you're talking. This is weird.
Be a surprise. So the short one let the cat out of the bag. But then he was like, well, fuck it. The short one was like, yeah, and they're even kind of kicking us out. The apartment doesn't want us to be here. So apparently someone made calls to the apartment saying, hey,
at least.
Yeah. Now, another thing people are floating around, and I think is interesting, is that apparently they made a video or they did a live stream about Jake Paul or Logan Paul. And some people are saying that cast Logan Paul in a bad light, and maybe Logan Paul picked up the telephone. And listen, man, you take one of these golden boys, you know what I'm saying, blonde hair, blue-eyed boys, and they get on that motherfucking phone. I mean, or these golden boys can get on the phone with somebody who can then get on the phone with somebody, right? And it's that second phone. It's that second phone that's the real phone.
I think for me personally, it's just certain people I won't even talk about.
Yeah,
I won't even do a live stream about them. Like I won't even put their name, in the title. I just won't even talk about it. It's not worth it. It's just not worth it.
How are you saying there's certain people you won't talk about and it's not worth it, but you are platforming Fleece Johnson, the booty warrior? Pause. You know what?
I was saying with like Laverne and Miley and Zoom and everything, people need to know there are levels to this shit, man. There are levels to the.
What he's saying is he won't speak about certain white folks because he fears the ramifications because he's a coward. That's what he's really saying.
Content creation game. There are levels in this hierarchy,
Yeah, Joshua Lawson, but you'll talk shit about the black community. That's what I'm talking about. That's what that's his main goal. Try to disrespect and throw the black community under the bus at every angle. Shout out to Anti-Gravity 74 with the $5 super chat.
I'm getting rich.
Man, if I was the landlord, I'd have paid to break their lease. No way in hell I'd have put up with that for that long. Nightmare tenants. That's what I'm talking about. Nightmare tenants. They had that authentic alpha guy come to their door, and then he had to back out the strap, and they had that altercation. There was many altercations where it went left. The DJ Academics altercation in the hallway. Tommy getting swung on by one of the chicks at the table. All of that.
It's not like you're going to start a YouTube channel and you don't know how your roadcaster works, so you're going to email Kevin Samuels and ask him how to fix it, and he's going to email you back, and you don't even have one subscriber. It's just not going to happen. Right now, that old lady did it, but she didn't know the rules. So, and you can absolutely make a mistake and talk about somebody and then realize, hey man, you know, you don't really know who's connected with who. I was watching a DJ Academics DJ.
Bree says Leor Cohen getting tired of everybody. This is his platform. Leor Cohen is what, the executive of YouTube Music, the YouTube Music wing, not the entire platform.
Academics was on Vlad, and you know, man, I made a couple of videos about DJ Academics, and so DJ Academics is sitting there talking on Vlad's set. He's talking, and then Vlad's like, yeah, you know, I was talking to the lead attorney about this, and DJ Vlad, the Academics, like, you don't really know. You know, it's a small world. The higher you go,
it gets really small.
It does, man. It's not
really small
at the top.
I did a show. I didn't even do a show. I did an interview where Charleston was talking about Mace. Mace called. Like,
really?
Mace,
wow.
First he DM'd me, then he called, and he was like, hey, fam, listen, I'm moving in a different direction. I would appreciate it, such and such and such and such. I was like, all right, I feel you. You know, I just respected it just from the fact that he reached out, right? If anybody reaches out and say, hey, man, can you do...
So hold on. So pretty much you're grouping out that the celebrities that you're speaking about are actually reaching out to you when you have a large platform. Do you suffer from imposter syndrome? Are you surprised when somebody else that's a celebrity, that's a public figure, reaches out to y'all? Because y'all, there's a problem with the manosphere and some of these idiots. They literally get on these platforms. They have these moments where they're trying to go viral and clout chase, and then they're surprised that they're public figures. Like, wait, I'm a public figure? They have the idiots in the comment section try to diminish what they are and what they mean to the public by saying, oh, you're not a public figure. You're just a YouTuber, X, Y, and Z. It's like, nigga, you're stupid. How do you know me? You're watching me on a screen. You don't know me personally, but you know me. That's the mark of a public figure. They don't get it sometimes. So it's like when you're doing a show and you're talking shit, sometimes niggas gonna check you. Sometimes niggas might slide in your DM. Sometimes niggas might call. Depends the size of your show, the size of your platform. Lead attorneys on Vlad TV. You don't think everybody knows you by now, Lead? You're on Vlad TV. How much subscribers does Vlad have? 4 million subscribers? These are the biggest platforms in the culture right now. The Vlad TVs, the Adam 22s. Well, Adam 22 not anymore. Fig Unity World is doing more numbers than them. Ain't that a bitch? Adam 22 is using AD, T-Rel, and his old staff. He's trying to use back on Fig Community and Fig Community World for views because they're doing way more numbers than him now. And they're the spot now, and ain't nobody checking for Adam outside of his interviews for the artists that they're particularly checking for. But the Breakfast Club, Vlad, these type of platforms, large visibility. Everybody, you go outside, people start recognizing you when you get on these type of platforms because that's what everybody's watching. It's replaced TV. LT, you paused the video on an unfortunate frame of Anton. Every time I pause, there is no save frame. There's no save frame. Anytime I pause the video with Anton on the screen, prepare, people. Prepare.
Ladies and gentlemen, this here is
Way too much zest. I don't know what I can do with that. Pause.
this or you can do that? I'll make adjustments. There's plenty of people that ask me to take stuff down and stuff like that. And I just look out, if even when I do an interview, after the interview, some people say some egregious stuff. And I ask them, I'll be like, hey, you sure you don't want me to edit that out or whatever, so on and so forth? And sometimes they'll be like, yeah, go ahead and take that part out. But other times, sometimes they'd be like, leave it in. And then they'll call me later after the drop and say, hey, fam.
Shout out to Lido with the, I can't pronounce your last name. So I just punt on the last names now when I look at them and I'm like, yeah, that's a little too hard. Pause. Graciano. Why'd I try anyway? Shout out to you for the $5 super chat.
I'm getting rich.
Yo, look what happened to King Riches. Sad, but I told him, get out like that movie. Now bro went out looking bad. Shake my head. See, this is the thing. I have no idea what's going on with King Riches. King Riches has fallen into the gulag of irrelevance. Nigga, irrelevant as fuck. I have no idea what's going on that platform. He has no viral moments. He's off of the plantation, but dusty, so he kind of needed that plantation. He's looking around like,
Come on, man.
ain't nothing going good for... You know what? I should check out the platform. I'm talking a lot of shit. I have no idea what's going on in this platform, but let's get it, y'all.
Need you to remove that part of it, you know. Take that
Exactly. It's levels to this. I remember when Tony the Closer, man, y'all know how bad involved Tony the Closer is, right? Tony the Closer was threatening my life in super chat. Shout out to Tony the Closer.
Oh, me and him got into a beef. We got into a full blown beef today.
Well,
Me and him
today.
Today.
Wait,
What
so
happened today?
this guy looks happy. He has beef with Tony the Closer now. The clout chase successful. He's smiling and shit.
We got into a full blown beef today.
Well,
Me and him
today.
today.
What happened today? I'm getting the scoop.
Full blown beef.
Stop it. Get some help.
This nigga's on some internet gangster shit. He's just happy. Oh, a full blown beef. Nigga, you're saying shit through a screen.
Guys, what the fuck? Did he threaten your life in super chats too? Because Lord knows he threatened mine. Tony is violent.
I told y'all, this is Tony's vibe. What kind of part of the game is this? This is the thing about these niggas. You're talking shit through a screen. That's why I said this is not beef. I'm just cooking a fish. What are we talking about here?
What did Tony say to you?
So we I had Charleston on the platform, and I guess Charleston got into a beef with Tony for whatever reason, right? And I don't care, right? You know what I'm saying? Like whatever an interviewer start talking about whatever it is that they talk about, I just let them rock, you know, so on and so forth. So, you know, the interview dropped, and it was at a time where I guess Tony had fell out with Tasha K or whatever.
Oh my God! Did you see their one video? Their one collab. It was the worst collab I've seen in my. Just like I was telling you guys that there are levels, and like when my
Tony the Closer versus Tasha K. I covered that. That's on the channel. Y'all could search it and find it. Let's get it.
co-host is up, I'm Batman, but then when Kevin comes up, I'm Robin. You know, two fucking Batmans. And
I didn't see their show, but I had
horrible.
seen it when they had got on a Instagram live with each other. So I had seen that video or whatever, you know, because somebody had screen recorded it. But anyway, so
Somebody had screen recorded it. Tony, let me see who's the most relevant in the search algorithm as I play this.
he didn't like what Charleston was saying about him or whatever, and so he was in my Instagram comments, and he was just like, you know, kind of talking junk and going back and forth or whatever. And you know, I'm like,
Okay. So Tony the Closer goes off on Tasha K. When I put in Tony the Closer versus Tasha K, yeah, that was me. I was the first person to cover that. I didn't even give commentary in that.
bro, why do you keep commenting in my stuff? And he was fighting with the people in my chat and my comment. He started commenting on my videos and all of that, and you know, started tough talking. Like,
So he
you know,
was in your chat, or he had come up, or what now?
he was in my, like, he was responding to different videos, and he was in my Instagram comments on every picture that I dropped and stuff like that. And so he was going back and forth with people.
That's the thing. He's like, this pussy nigga's not gonna say shit about me. He was probably talking shit in this video, and he's like, nah, we ain't having that. So he was stalking his shit, not having that at all.
Hold on, real quick. I want you to finish this thought, but let me say shout out to Angry Man. Got Angry Man in the chat. If you want to come up, you certainly can. I know Shay.
Got all the coons coming through now, huh? Got Angry Man. Jesus Christ. Shout out to Armani with the $5 super chat.
I'm getting rich.
He's a zesty ass nigga wearing a pink bunny hoodie. And he tough online. Yep, that's what I'm. Wait, that's a bunny hoodie? That's what this nigga always has the zestiest shit on. The clown hats and the hot dog suits.
Was like, God damn, man, everybody jump in the line. but
let me also say that I don't have no. Well, I'm gonna tell you the story, so I'll just give you the whole thing. So eventually, you know, I got tired of it, and he was talking shit. So I did an Instagram live, and I was like, "Hey, listen, you know, you keep calling everybody broke. Let's have a money fight."
Wow.
And I was like, "Yo, let's do big bank, take little bank. We could put 100,000 on it if you want."
Wow.
I said we could put 250,000 on it, and we can show our accounts, and we can do it live, or we can do whatever it is that you want to do, or whatever, so on and so forth. So he was in the chat, and he wouldn't cam up, so he wouldn't come up or whatever like that. But then he went live afterwards, you know, so on and so forth. So it was a little bit of a back and forth. But I was like, you know what? This is stupid. There's no point in going back and forth with beef. Because he responded and he said, "Nah, let's bet 100,000 that I could beat your ass." Right?
Facts. That's a better one. Let's have a money fight. All right, you put up 100,000 and show the audience. It's like, what the fuck is that gonna do, bitch nigga? This guy's just so thirsty to let everybody know he's some sort of high value man. Like, shut your bitch ass up. 100K on the fight, that's way more like it. You're talking shit online, 100K on the fight. That's way more like it.
So he was like, you know,
This nigga Tony violent as hell, man.
no, I mean,
Violent as hell. You're a grown ass man talking shit on the internet. Like, you're tough. Okay, put the money up and scrap. Shout out to John with the $2 super chat.
I'm getting rich.
Looking like Rick Ross, acting like Lil Nas X.
No, this nigga gay as hell.
just tell you the truth. And he was like, "Yeah, you be down in Miami. I'll be seeing you down in the design district. You know what I'm saying? Let's pull up to the gym and let's fight. I bet 100,000. We could put 250,000 on there that I'll beat your ass." Now,
And what did you do? Let me play this through and let me hear what he did. Sucker ass nigga. He put up the money. He challenged you after talking shit.
he was like, "Yeah, you be down in Miami. I'll be seeing you down in the design district. You know what I'm saying? Let's pull up to the gym and let's fight. I bet 100,000. We could put 250,000 on there that I'll beat your ass. Now, you know, forget the money fight. Let's fight or whatever, right?" So, anyways, I was like, "Fuck it, you know." I got a family. I'm 40 years old. Ain't nobody trying to go back and
Too
forth.
old.
Nobody trying to fight nobody.
Yeah, we in our 40s.
So, you know, I just
Just like a woman.
Yo, I need a drop for like pussy, coward, something disrespectful for niggas just ducking the fade. Like, what do you mean? Oh, I got a family. I got a family now. So what was that shit? Where was that? Oh, I have a family thought before you got online and started talking shit about somebody that's with the smoke. Oh, I have a family. I have a daughter.
You stupid.
fuck it, you know, like I bet 100,000. We could put 250,000 on there that I'll beat your ass. Not, you know, forget the money fight. Let's fight or whatever, right? So, anyways, I was like, "Fuck it, you know." I got a family. I'm 40 years old. Ain't nobody trying to go back and
Too
forth.
old.
Nobody trying to fight nobody.
Yeah.
Shut your bitch ass up before I get to talking shit about you.
That's what you gotta do, man. You gotta shut your bitch ass up, nigga. You ain't about the action. You ain't about the smoke. You're ducking the one-on-one fades. Shut your bitch ass up. You trying to have money fights instead of physical fights like a grown-ass man, but you're in a manosphere red pill? Goddamn coward. Shout out to Win, Lose, or Rug with the $5 super chat.
I'm getting rich.
Anton, remind me of that Zesty Santana dude. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Wallahi al-azim, you are the game. Don't say this to me. Wallahi, you are the game.
Shout out to Solo TV 84 with the $5 super chat.
I'm getting rich.
King Rich is sold out. I told him this publicly and he got mad. Yeah, I remember that. Shout out to Solo TV 84. I remember I reacted to that interview. You told him not I was about to say to his face, but you told him on air that he sold out. To his face, he got mad. He got mad when you held him accountable and told him the truth in the way people perceive him. He got mad, he got in his feelings. I remember that. He got in his feelings. He was real mad. To the point where he was saying shit like this. He was saying shit like this.
I'm not in my bedroom. You are, and no one can hear you.
Sounds real tough coming from King Riches. Shout out to Brother Jumbie with the $5 super chat.
I'm getting rich.
Grown men talking reckless behind screens but not about that action in a controlled environment. Bussy. That's facts. That's facts. If you're talking the shit, but somebody challenges you to a one-on-one and they put up that money and you're ducking, goddamn coward. Goddamn coward. You thought you were that guy?
No, you ain't.
Get the money fight, let's fight or whatever, right? So, anyways, I was like, fuck it, you know. I got a family. I'm 40 years old. Ain't nobody trying to go back and forth.
Too
Nobody
old.
trying to fight nobody.
Yeah, we in our 40s.
So, you know, I just, out of courtesy, I took the Charleston videos down where he was talking about him or whatever like that. And, you know, I was just chilling or whatever. And I reached out to him. I said, listen, we can link up in person, you know, or we can talk on the phone or whatever like that. But I don't want no beef. I ain't trying to have no beef with nobody. Let's squash it, so on and so forth. But he was like, fuck that. We ain't squashing nothing. So.
And this is how you know that there are levels, right? Because
don't fuck with certain people. Keep their name out your mouth. How about that one? Certain people don't play that shit. Yo, these likes are dusty as shit. We have 3 times as many people watching as likes. Yo, I hate when I have to do this. I have not done this in a while. But y'all already know what it is. Get the likes up. We're taking a break. You know what? Yeah, I can't do that in good faith, collecting all these super chats. Let's get it, man.
Tony, guys, made a video about somebody. He made multiple videos.
And let me be clear. I don't
Damn,
have
man,
no
let me
beef with
just
nobody.
you keep cutting me off, man.
No, I don't have no beef.
Now, see, this is the first time I vetoed a break. I usually go through with the breaks, but I'm like, you know what? Shout out to everybody that's been hitting that super chat supporting the show. Y'all have facilitated a better outcome than the folks that are reluctantly hitting the like button, although likes are free. But let's get it. Let me run this back and play it through.
Somebody. He made multiple videos.
And let me be clear. I don't
Damn,
have
man,
no beef with nobody.
you keep cutting me off, man.
No, I don't have no beef with nobody. I don't want no smoke. I think that Tony is a phenomenal content creator. Have fun. I don't want no beef with nobody. Do your thing.
You got that?
Yeah, I just want to be clear.
All right. So Tony made these videos about this particular person, and the person didn't like it. And the person got on the phone, made a phone call, picked up the phone, made a phone call to somebody. And then that somebody called Tony. And Tony deleted each and every one of them goddamn videos. Like, there are levels. As though there are levels to this.
Yeah.
Picking up a phone and deleted them all. Every single one. So, you know, it's always a tougher dude. You know what I'm saying? No matter how tough.
Jesus Christ.
All right, I want some insight. I want to know the specifics on that story. I want to know who Tony the Closer was beefing with and had one phone call make him delete all the videos, and I want to know the specifics if it's out there, if it's public information. If not, then we don't care. But shout out to Win Loser Rug with the $10 super chat.
I'm getting rich.
He 40 and too old to fight, but is on the net talking reckless. That's what I'm saying. 40 too old to fight, talking reckless. Man, that's facts. The things he say might as well add a fade to the channel. You might as well. You got to play it safer and be more respectful if you're going to be a coward like this, man. Although it's like you're doing a show. You are doing a show. You want to get your opinion off without offending and without trying to fight everybody you're getting an opinion off on. But that is keeping that in the context of you're just doing a show. When you're talking tough and you're disrespecting folks and you think you're that nigga when you're not, you got to live with the consequences. And he has to live with the consequences. And he's still copping pleads. Still copping pleads. To the point where he can't even let leads speak. He's like, no. Tony's a great guy. Tony this, Tony that. Scarred, nigga. Scarred.
It is.
No matter how big, it's always a tougher dude, always a bigger dude. So it's fucking levels, man. So we'll see with what happens with this fresh and fit thing. You got any last words on this, pimp?
No, I just wanted to support and show love before I went to bed. But I think that you're doing a phenomenal job. I see you doing your Vlad interviews. I see what you're doing on a content tip. You know, and I just think that you're doing awesome, man. I kind of been there since not the beginning, but the semi-beginning of your growth. You know what I'm saying? And so I like to support content creators that's doing awesome stuff. And
now I was there when Lead Attorney had he had 10,000 subscribers when he was still doing all those open panels early in his career.
Shout out to LTTV.
you know, I just want you to keep doing your thing, man. Shout out to you, Lead.
I appreciate it, man. I'm trying. They making it hard out here for a pimp. They're hiring $2 attorney, $2 attorneys to take my shit down, man. They make it tough on the lead, man.
Yeah.
We'll keep trying to do it. Thank you so much for coming up,
All
man.
right.
Shout out to Anton Daniels. Y'all go check him out. Follow his channel. If any of the mods, one of the mods could drop the link to my man's channel in the chat. Shout out to Low Key Classic Movies. Says, oh yeah.
Shout out to Vaughn with the $2 super chat.
I'm getting rich.
Lead Attorney Cooning 2, what's his stance? Now, he's going in on Fresh and Fit saying that they deserve it. They should be held accountable, X, Y, and Z. I was just lamenting the fact that he's inconsistent based on his relationships with certain content creators. So he doesn't like Fresh and Fit because they violated the copyright. They misused the Copyright Act. Oh shit, we got someone in the back. What's this, Random University? Okay, hold on. Before we get into the next segment, I lost my train of thought now. God damn. Let me add you to the stream. All right, we got Random University. Mike from Random University. Random University is the channel. Make sure you all subscribe to Random University. What up? What do you got on the topic, bro? Oh shit, my bad. You're muted still. Yeah, we getting some feedback.
All right, I got it muted. Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right, word. Oh man, no, I can't stand Anton. I mean, Mr. Planners himself. I mean, I can't really. All his rhetoric each and every day is some shit that pisses me off. But like, it's entertaining to an extent. But he's one of the biggest Sly Coopers I know. Like, yeah, I made quite a few videos that had Anton in them, so they're just ones I find the most interesting. Like, he blames black women for everything. Plus, I mean, he always wants to bring all the smoke, but he never has anything to go with it. First of all, he's like 5'2", so like, of course, every time somebody wants to challenge him to some shit, like, he doesn't want to do anything. He's always going to back down. He's going to, well, you know, I just wanted to show love and let everybody know, man, I just want to put you on the game and it's all cool. No, man, everybody can see it from like a mile away how he's really two-faced and how anytime like a man wants to really like stand up to him, and he's really no different than the Sweet Attorney. I mean, he's just, you know, which he has good content, so I'm not gonna like hate on him too much. But like you were just talking about, they all cape up for one another when they get in each other's face, and like that internally just pisses me off because I'm a person who really just, hey man, straight up. I mean, let's just ask some questions. I mean, you know, if we're gonna be straight up in a conversation, I'm gonna be. Let's just put it this way. I'm not gonna beat around the bush.
Yeah.
If you had some shit going on, I know we're cool, but why can't you be straightforward in an argument? Like, it doesn't have to be an eternal debate, but you can call people out on their shit without it being disrespectful. Like, you can always find a way to talk about stuff, but they can't. They don't have any balls.
Yeah, they're not trying to. They're not trying to challenge people on. Oh, we're getting more feedback.
That was my phone.
Yeah, it's all convenient for these folks. Still getting feedback. Yeah, I don't know if you're hearing it through your.
Oh no, I hear you. I don't. Anything off over here?
It's echoing. Like I can hear myself again. Oh no, I think we're good now. No.
Okay.
Can y'all hear the echo? Put ones in the chat if y'all hear echo. If you hear me twice, put 2 if it's all good, and I'm just tripping. Hold on, let me wait for confirmation from the chat. Okay, we're hearing ones. Yeah, we got ones.
I'm trying to figure out.
All right, let me drop you and bring you back and see if that helps.
All right.
Yo, testing, Mike. Yeah, I think I can still hear it. Okay, so call back in.
All right. I got you.
All right, so shit. Memory is dusty as shit. What point was I making? Yo, let's get back into this.
Miley from the short video, the weather she's a yeah. Miley, you come out here, man, she be wilding out. That's true. That's true. Shout out to Lost in Translation podcast, man. Says for the love of the game and the bottom of the bottle, all right? Shout out to Lost in Translation podcast. Very expensive. All right, man.
Now, this was not part of the stream. I was planning on going to the next video, but I want to see what Angry Man has to say, because people keep pestering me about Angry Man. I don't listen to the Angry Man. I don't know his perspectives. The only one time I seen him was on a panel with, I think it was E Black and was it Raw B? I was watching to see what the fuck they were saying on the panel, but I didn't even on that panel, I didn't get to hear his perspective. So let me fast forward to the Angry Man. Let's see what he has to say. Let's see if he's cooning. If he's cooning, y'all spam the coon drop or the coon emoji in the for members only, because y'all if you're in a member, you don't got that. But let's hear it, y'all.
So I can't stay on here too long, man. So I'm gonna bring Shape up, but of course, man, sorry, Shape, man. And one more time, you got Shape like, God damn, man, another big dog.
What's up?
How's it going, Angry Man?
What's good with you? I see you talking about the Fresh and Fit situation.
Yeah, man. A lot of people are going back and forth about it. You are a very successful content creator.
All right, so Random University, I brought you back. I'm gonna share the screen with you so you can see what I'm reacting to, and hold up.
I'm not echoing still, am I?
Nah, it's good now.
Gator.
Right, cool.
You know, as such, kind of what's your take on it?
Man, I saw it coming. I ain't gonna front. I saw it coming because, you know, I'm gonna tell you who I feel bad for. I feel bad for Fresh. I feel bad for Fresh because Fresh just be chilling. You know, he'll say something.
So he's already unaccountable. He feels bad for the follower. He feels bad for the follower that never speaks up and has his own opinion. He just follows Myron aimlessly down the rabbit hole while Myron follows dumbasses like Pearl to get their channel deplatformed. So Angry Man already feels sorry for Fresh. What do you think about this, Random University?
Nobody can feel sorry for Fresh, but I mean, they're always going to find a way to feel sorry for these dudes. I really don't know why they feel sorry for him at all. Like, it's just simple. They try to take down like 12 to 15 different platforms. So I really don't understand why like anybody feels sorry for any of them. Like at any point in time, people might feel sorry for Fresh because Fresh is going to be out of money. Like Fresh is broke more than likely. I mean, Fresh was making like $100 a month before he even started this shit. So I mean, he's going to struggle. Myron actually was smart and did something with his money. He actually took some of his own advice, I guess. Fresh was just smelling his own shit the whole time and then
buying Lamborghinis and McLarens and shit. He's just spending money like a fool.
Oh yeah, and those fake videos with trying to trick the women and seeing if they're gold diggers and whatnot, like those are some sad videos. I saw plenty of those.
All right, let's get back into this.
I'm married once in a while, but he just be chilling for the most part. But Myron, he just be pushing the limits, and it's like, man, you can't do that. There's a lot of guys that came before him that pushed the limits, that had platforms that was huge. Like I forget the guy. He does like conservative commentary, and he was pushing the limit, and they got him up out of here. Dan Bongino.
I don't know about him.
Yeah, he's like a conservative guy, and they got him up out of here. So I was like, man, look, and in his show, he don't be cursing. He just be talking his talk, but hey, can't do too much. But when I saw the KKK hood, I said, yeah, it's over.
Exactly.
It's over.
It's like, come on, man. There's really between the KKK stuff, the hood, the Nick stuff, what other stuff is there? You're talking about the Jewish community, or you're bringing somebody up that talks super bad about the Jewish community, and he's already been banned. You're dealing with Sneeko, he's already been banned. You're sitting there with the Klan stuff. Like, what? It's like you're trying to. It's like you made a bet with somebody. You got $1 million bet saying, they bet you that that you can't get yourself kicked off of YouTube. You're like, I bet I can. That's how they're acting. It's like, I bet I can get kicked off. Watch me. I double dog dare you to get kicked off of YouTube, and here they go with the Klan stuff. So
let me ask you this: Do you think they'll eventually get their monetization back?
I do.
They're gonna get it back, ain't they? I feel like they're gonna get it back.
Just because of YouTube, they just make so much money for YouTube. YouTube, at the end of the day, guys, it's just a business, man.
Yeah.
And they make more.
All right, so I pretty much quickly see why I don't watch the Angry Man, because he's not adding any value to the stream. Because, man, hold up.
We don't care.
Let me tell you. We don't care.
Okay, that was a delayed reaction. All right, so shout out to Random University. Random University, I'm gonna actually drop you. We're gonna go. I have another video that I want to react to, and it's slower with the reactions when I have people on the panel. So if you want to call in following the reaction,
Yeah, I'll just call in afterwards.
all right, shout out to you.
All right, appreciate it, man.
Yep. Yeah, shout out to Random University. He actually tagged me in a couple of his videos. He has good content over there. Make sure y'all go subscribe to Random University. If the mods want to drop his channel in the chat, y'all want to call up and panel up following these reactions, the videos I got to react to, we can panel up and do a entire discussion. But in the meanwhile, I got to get the right one that I planned to on the screen. Y'all give me a second. This was an impromptu reaction. I wanted to react to this video. This is a content creator. We got to cook Pearl too. We got a bunch here. We got a lot here. But this content creator put out a video that gives some perspective.
So, Fresh and Fit got demonetized and kicked off the YouTube partner sharing program.
Now, shout out to this guy. I'm going to go through my YouTube history to find out what the channel name is. I forgot. This is the first time I've seen this guy on the platform. I'm gonna make sure I give him his due diligence, but or his not his due diligence. Give him his respect, or whatever the fuck I'm trying to say, man. I'm drawing blanks. Let's get it.
Let me just start by throwing sand on the wake. They'll probably be back. I know, and I agree. Getting demonetized is really bad. It's bad for you. It's bad for your channel. It's bad for your pockets. But their channel at the time of recording is still on YouTube. Unlike Sneeko, their channel did not get deleted.
Yeah, homage is a better word. Shout out to Lido.
And so when that is the case, there's always a high likelihood that behind the scenes they're sending emails and having meetings, and they will probably return. While it's a nice little moment to go and point and laugh at two of the biggest idiots on the internet of the last few years, I'm not going to spend a lot of time doing that in this video. Instead, there's an element to their rise and what they represent that I want to focus on to make a greater point. So Fresh and Fit, I think, started in 2016 and blew up during the pandemic like a lot of new creators, yours truly included. And if I'm fair, they are probably the inception of the modern plague of alpha male podcasts. They spent most of the last 3 years kind of like streamlining that formula by being incredibly misogynistic when they weren't embarrassing themselves against anyone who wasn't drinking the red pill Kool-Aid. Like the one time they met with a woman that they didn't hire and pay to be a guest on their show, and she kind of made them look bad. But we all know Fresh and Fit. What I want to know
now, I remember that interview. I covered that interview. They put out the worst part of that interview, the clip where she was cooking them. They put that out on social media to pretty much to promote it, to get everybody to be like, oh yeah, I want to see this. But we were pretty much finessed. They actually cooked her in that interview and exposed a lot of her finesse in that interview. So as much as they made her, they say that Brittany Renner made them look bad, they just made themselves look bad because that's what they do. But they made her look bad because they uncovered her finesse in that entire interview. So that goes both ways. I'm not going to revise history with that in the way I perceived that interview as I covered it. But let's get it.
more in the moment is, why were they demonetized now? Why wasn't it after misogynistic moment number 5 or misogynistic moment number 500,000? Why not after another red pill guy tried to fight a black woman on their podcast? Why not after numerous racist jokes about black women, Asian women, etc.? I'm trying to figure out what was it that triggered them finally getting any type of consequences for their awful rhetoric on their show. I've heard others say it's because they tried to illegally put in copyright claims on other channels, which will get you demonetized. I've heard people speculate it was their recent feud with Abba and Preach, where they acted like monkeys and I think did like Hitler salutes and shit. I honestly don't know, but I feel like whatever got them demonetized.
Wait. Whoa. Jay the Informant said this guy is pretty much the Dr. Umar scammer for the LGBT community. Wait, what did I stumble up? Who is this guy?
Who?
This guy right here is, we're watching the guy that, I don't know this content creator. This is the first time I've seen his video or his content. I didn't even see the entire video. I seen I seen half of it, and it seemed like he was making some pretty good points. He's the scam. Wait, who is this guy? Hey, yo. Can I get a confirmation? Chronic introvert, you're right. Let's investigate, because I can't completely take somebody's word in the chat for something. I have to make my mind up myself to investigate and see who this nigga is. But let's hear this.
It wasn't misogyny. Misogyny, that's okay. They got 1.5 million subs, though with far, far less views than their regular content, which is something I'm going to bring up later. They got that big and didn't get taken off the game until they crossed some specific line that we know wasn't spreading hatred of women. For 3 years, hatred of women was A-okay. And I want to dig into the full ramifications of what that means in like a broad spectrum, and how it relates to my personal view on the red pill and combating the red pill. Many people often accuse me of always thinking that I'm right and never taking criticism, which is untrue. And as an example, I'm going to, in this moment, like represent and rethink some stances I've had in the past that I don't think hold up anymore. Specifically on why the algorithm content works the way it works, and why some...
Okay, so a lot of people are saying left-wing grifting. Well, that's what Milestones 2 million said. Somebody else said... Jesus Christ. All right, man, let's give it a chance. Let's listen to the points.
Content doesn't get the views and visibility that other content gets. So this is me directly responding to criticism from the video I released a couple of weeks ago regarding the left isn't helping men ongoing discourse. Specifically, I want to take back what I said about the algorithm being responsible for the proliferation of red pill content.
Now this is why I added this to the reaction before we get to cooking just Pearly things for her unaccountability in the matter. This point right here, because sometimes I cook the fans. Sometimes I call out the audience and be like, yeah, y'all are signing up for this dusty behavior. Y'all are clamoring to all the fuck shit. Sometimes I hold the fans accountable and they want to blame it on the algorithm, and they're not choosing these videos, although they're clicking on it and actively participating in it. So this is exactly why I wanted to react to this video.
And why men's content from progressive or leftist voices don't have the same spread. I made it seem like the computer itself, knowing that this was viable content that leads to engagement, was purposefully overspreading this type of content and radicalizing lots of young men. That's not the most accurate situation.
Hold on, before we get into that point, CJOJ said he's not a grifter. You might just disagree with his politics. He's got major beef with Destiny. I don't know anything about his politics. I don't know anything about this guy. These are what y'all are reporting to me. I don't know anything about this guy. I just know that this point right here is something that I see as apropos. So let's listen to this.
Isn't really the algorithm's fault, because the algorithm is a reflection of the audience. It's always been that. And it's time to face some hard truths about who the audience for this type of content tends to be and what they really need to help themselves. So you know how a few years back, Facebook...
You really got to take accountability for being that, because coming from where I come from, Blunt Talk with LT, before I did LTTV, I started LTTV after I lost Blunt Talk with LT as a channel. And the first thing I did, because I cover celebrity news at the time, Kevin Samuels had a bunch of viral moments, a bunch of viral content. I did a long form reaction, a live stream, one of my first live streams I've done on this platform. It did 80-something thousand views. It blew up this platform, and all of a sudden I was mixed in a different category than from my normal coverage on hip hop. Because Blunt Talk with LT, I didn't cover any of this manosphere shit at all. So it was my own doing a reaction to Kevin Samuels got me introduced to all these things in all these people in the red pill space. That's why when people talk about these red pill manosphere coaches and they're naming the big ones with 2 million subscribers and X, Y, and Z, I don't know who the fuck these folks are. I was late to Tommy Sotomayor in that regard, because for me, it came with the content that I was doing now. I started tapping into certain content, and all of a sudden shit started flooding my shit, and all of a sudden I'm reacting to their stuff. So I know where I started getting into the red pill and the manosphere space off of content creation. But let's get into this, y'all.
Got into a lot of trouble because it was being accused of helping to radicalize lots of people on far-right message boards and Facebook groups by boosting negative posts and content, much of which contained obvious misinformation, which led to low-key probably the election of Donald Trump. A bunch of COVID denial in the January 6th uprising. Pretty much a lot of the awful shit that's been going on the last 10 years is partially due to the spread of misinformation and the polarization of Americans into ridiculous and dangerous ideologies. However, recent studies have somewhat absolved Facebook explicitly as the cause for that particular problem, YouTube as well. What recent studies have found is that certain content grows not because it's radicalizing and converting ostensibly normal and neutral people. Instead, the research seems to indicate that there's a population of people who are already predisposed to certain belief systems, and then they gravitate to certain content that supports that belief system. And then once they get to that content, then the algorithm begins to do its job of bubbling, filtering, and insulating them from any other type of content that might push them off the platform.
Now, I didn't read any of the studies that he's referring to. I just did an observation of just basically observing what's going on in my algorithms, the way I compare it to other social media sites that I'm on, and I just observe how YouTube feeds me shit and how they recommend it. It's just simple observation. And I realize it's my own doing. It's my own choices. I watch certain videos, all of a sudden their videos related are starting to pop up on my algorithm. I'm seeing it's just my own choice. I didn't look through the study, but the study kind of confirms my supposition. But let's get into this, y'all.
This may be called a radicalization process, but the key thing to understand is that normal people aren't being radicalized from a benign and neutral position into a far-right extreme one. It's people who are already pretty entrenched in a particular belief system that get further polarized by the algorithm, but they were there to begin with. Now, this means a lot of things, but for this video, it should pull into context how ridiculous it is to genuinely complain that the red pill is winning because the left isn't trying hard enough. This argument hinges on the idea that all these poor, vulnerable guys are just innocent little boys until the silver-tongued red pill podcast come and mind control them into becoming raging misogynists. Again, so many of you.
Yeah, he needs to stop saying raging misogynist. Everybody throws around the word misogyny and they really don't understand what it means or something. I remember watching a Vlad interview when Vlad said something about not letting women leave angry or something, and Megan Kuniff, the girl the woman that was covering the Tory Lanez Meg Thee Stallion case, an esteemed reporter, was like, oh, that's misogynist, that's X, Y, and Z. And it's like, nah, this nigga just said something about not letting women leave angry because sometimes they get petty and vindictive and X, Y, and Z. And he's just using his own relationship history to kind of make that point. He's like, oh, it's misogyny. And it's like, it's not misogyny. Y'all just be throwing that shit everywhere. But let's get back into this.
My viewers included, give us content creators far.
It's like when you outline any difference between men and women, they're like, it's misogynistic, and that's bullshit. That is absolute bullshit. Now, what Fresh and Fit do, I ain't defending them. I'm just saying in general when folks throw around that word.
Too much credit for what is happening out in the real world and why certain behaviors and ideologies are present in society. Nobody is a blank slate. Men and boys on the internet aren't fucking Eevee from Pokemon just waiting to see if the Pokemon trainer is going to use the red pill stone or the blue pill stone. It doesn't work like that. What the research is telling us is that if you're here watching this video, congrats. You did something well before getting here to open yourself up to what I have to say. Or at least that's what the algorithm thinks about you based on your watch behavior.
Yep, because this says Fresh and Fit are gone. Here's why that doesn't matter. This is a Fresh and Fit, an anti-Fresh and Fit type video. I've been doing nothing but running those type of videos and watching content related to that, like the O'Shea Duke Jackson videos or Duke the Don type videos. So once again, some of this shit might pop up. The terrible Eevee analogy, I didn't even pay attention to his Eevee analogy. When he mentioned the Pokemon, I was out. He said something about Pokemon, I'm like,
what?
That's not on the list of approved anime to speak on air without looking like a dweeb. But let's get into the next video, y'all. We have Just Pearly Things Getting Cooked. Y'all want to check that out. I don't have the link for this guy's video. I will provide that later in the description because I can't remember this content creator's name. I just found his channel. Let's get into this next video, y'all. Hold up. Give me 1 second, y'all. Just Pearly things caping. Oh, hold on. Before we get into that, we caught Melly Monaco attempting to trick off on Gilbert Arenas. So she, you know what? Let's get it.
Man, Sister T throwing $20 at me. Shit, okay, I see you, Sister T. When women give you money, it's a little funnier. Yeah, y'all trying to pay for the dick. You a married lady, Sister T. You can't be throwing a nigga like me money. You know, I take advantage of that. I'm gonna take your money and spend it on, I need a couple more dollars and I can get that real good pricey head. Shout out to Gil, let's all donate. I'm telling y'all right now, y'all give me $250. Y'all know what I'm doing with it. You get that? I'm letting you know where the money going. I'm going right to Instagram and figure out who's selling it for $250 and boom, I'm buying it. That's what I'm gonna do with your money, all right? So if there's some ladies in here that's really smart, you look at the money I'm getting and then boom, throw an offer. Oh, there she... 200. Hey, okay, Melly, listen. I don't know if you was here when I said what I was gonna do with the 200.
Hold on, let me pull that back real quick, y'all.
He's in here that's really smart. You look at the money I'm getting and then boom, throw an offer. Oh, there she... 200. Hey,
Melly with the 200 ball, tricking off on Gilbert Arenas.
We're in a different era. Get over it. Whoa!
Okay, Melly, listen. I don't know if you was here when I said what I was gonna do with the 200. I need a couple more dollars and I can get that real good pricey head. You can possibly get this money back if we play our cards right. You know what I mean? Like, you wasn't here at the beginning, don't rewind. Like, this could be free. This could be free for you, girl.
He said, you ain't got a trick. This can be free for you, girl.
I've seen him do it.
So we have Gilbert Arenas. We know where that's gonna. We already know how Gil moves. Gil's gonna slide in them DMs. MTR, man. MTR. Don't be doing the same shit that Scrunch will be trying to do to TK over this one. Just let it go, man. Let's get into this. Pearl.
So, next on the list, Fresh and Fit got demonetized. So, as you guys know, I actually am a big fan of Fresh and Fit. So,
now you are a convenient fan of Fresh and Fit when you needed them to ally with when you were getting cooked. You needed the red pill to come to your defense. You solicited the attention of Rolo Tomasi, who cooked you in the past. You were soliciting the attention of Fresh and Fit, who you weren't on good terms with in the past prior to the situation. You led those folks down astray because them niggas is suckers. What kind of cowards get led by a woman in the manosphere? Talking about, oh, it's the manosphere, this is the red pill, men lead, women follow. Pearl did something. Pearl did her anti-Semitic rhetoric, her racist rhetoric. She called for the help of y'all, and y'all followed Pearl.
Beta.
But it didn't go the way that it went for Pearl, because Pearl's still on the platform as she morphs to her far-right conservative grift. And y'all have to understand, I ain't anti-conservative. I am not liberal. But when I call out folks for their far-right conservative grift, y'all need to understand, far-right conservative grift, where things get egregious. But let's get it, y'all.
you know, it's funny because in my early days, some of the stuff that Myron would say would be a bit like triggering. Like, I think there's some lefty channels that have pulled up clips of, you know.
Now, shout out to Vaughn. Vaughn said, didn't O'Shea make a video about her not defending Fresh and Fit? See, this is the thing. O'Shea puts out a lot of videos. O'Shea and his staff are working hard. They're putting out a lot of videos.
Shout out to brother LTTV.
He jumps the gun sometimes. Sometimes people will send me O'Shea videos and be like, yo, how you saying this when this? I'm like, yo, bro, he kind of butchered the story. He got the source wrong. So sometimes he gets shit wrong. Sometimes he jumps the gun and says shit before things even have time to progress and happen. So he said he made that video and then an hour later she put out this. So he jumped the gun with that because he makes a lot of content. And that's what happens when you make a lot of content. That's not a shot at O'Shea. That's just a part of the business. When I'm more active and I put out a lot of content, I realize there's more errors in putting out a lot of content, especially when you're quick and first to a story. You make errors sometimes. Nobody's infallible. It is what it is.
Oh, well, because when you first see red pill advice or red pill, I guess content, it really does switch your entire worldview, because you think the world is one way and it's not. So when I would first hear about, for example,
now she has this Candace Owens looking platform with the Pearl Daily at the bottom, the screen in the back, whatever the fuck you call this thing. You know them ear shits that they have in professional television, the Stephen A. Smith shits. The agents wear that. Gray pill, you know what I'm talking about. Agent Smith got them shits in his ear. What do you call them things again? I can't remember because I'm not in professional business. I'm dusting it up in my own platform, but let's get it, y'all.
Example, guys not wanting to get married. Getting married is stupid. I would think, well, I have married parents. Why is it stupid? But, you know, when it comes down to it and you look at the state of the modern chick, the state of the average woman, most women have had sex with multiple men. Most women, 1 out of 3 has had an abortion. 1 out of 3 or 4 has had an STD. And it's just, when you start looking at these stats and realizing that men are just reacting to the modern woman, it really puts the onus on women to become better so men want to get married again. But
yep, red pill manosphere talking points. Pearl, you can't help it. Blame the women. We're blaming you, Pearl.
remember early on, I just...
Woo! Yeah, I wish I could zoom in furthermore. These crow's feet are bad. Someone said that she was 36. I think you're right. I think it pays for her to sell a younger image and a younger age, but we got to see those birth certificate. We got to see that birth certificate. We're going to start treating her like a transformer. We need that birth certificate, ma'am. Because right now the crowd says...
a lot of the stuff was triggering to hear. But then you watch more and more and you see how much these guys really do care about men. They really do. And I genuinely do believe they save lives because the information
They genuinely care about men. They genuinely save lives. Get the fuck out of here, man.
Put out, they help guys get in better shape. They help guys deal with women.
Stop the cap.
You know who is heavily influenced by Fresh and Fit and attributes them for his success, or some of his success? Flacco. You know Poetic Flacco? He said I remember an interview where he said he listened to Fresh and Fit and he got on his shit and they were motivating him to be better. And she talked about what?
I genuinely do believe they save lives because the information they put out, they help guys get in better shape. They help guys deal with women.
Now, Flacco hasn't improved in any of those departments.
Stop it. Get some help.
So Flacco pretty much removes credit from himself and his own work ethic and attributes that to Fresh and Fit because he has not taken any of their advice and improved in the ways that they say to improve. He pretty much just, made his own platform or... Yes, CJOJ says Flacco sucks. He's a red pillar. Yeah, man, it is what it is. Shout out to Yo Fam with a $2 super chat.
I'm getting rich.
Fuck red pill. Listen to COJ 144. I don't know what that is. Is that somebody in the chat? Or were you trying to say? I don't. You know what it is? What it is, man. Yeah, Flacco is a red pill dick rider. You see this interview with Satan the Sinner? That was egregiously bad. That made me uncomfortable just watching him call the man big homie repeatedly. I'm like, what part of the game is this? But let's get it, y'all.
Especially modern women. Like, a lot of guys will say, just find a good woman. But, it's tough in a society where most women are addicted to attention. The average woman is addicted to attention the same way a guy would be addicted to porn, right? But the difference is one is shamed and one is praised. That's the crazy thing. So
stop the cap.
Yeah, I really do believe they're helping save men. But recently this week, it came out that Fresh and Fit are demonetized. So pull.
We don't care.
Let me tell you. We don't care.
The clip.
It sucks, guys. It really does suck. Fortunately, we made some moves, etc. And we kind of knew that the type of content that we make for us to be able to give you this content, we have to.
It comes at a cost.
It comes at a.
Now we watched this already. I would fast forward this, but I know y'all enjoy seeing them crying, so let the tears rain.
Cost, dude.
And it won't be here forever.
Yeah. And you know, Fresh always said this, you know, enjoy us while you can.
Yeah. They thought we was capping, man.
Yeah.
They thought it was a joke.
And you know, we made moves on the side knowing that this could potentially happen. And
hold on, y'all. Let me adjust the audio a little bit. I don't know about y'all, but it's a little bit on the loud side for me. Let me pull this.
The channel has been kicked off the YouTube partner program. Just keep it straight with
If you
y'all.
look right now, you can't even super chat or
You can't even super chat right now.
Yep.
So this is the beginning of the end of this era.
So we are in trolling chat. So
yeah. So you literally can't. Yeah, man. So it's so basically.
I just noticed this. They got that dog under the table, depressed as fuck.
Basically, we're gonna figure out what's going on because we don't even really know all the details. We're working with YouTube to try to come to a middle ground and, you know, work together and figure this out. But for now,
we don't even know why.
We don't know the specific reason.
You don't know why, and then Myron says he doesn't know the specific reason. See how they're careful with words? I think YouTube gave them an outline of reasons that were probably a little too vague for them to understand the specific reason, but it was probably a list of reasons of why we ain't fucking with y'all. And they got to dispute it. But they're not showing anything, so they're not to be trusted. They are not to be trusted in this equation. We only believe what y'all can verify for us. We're not taking your word for shit.
But we don't, in any form or fashion, hate YouTube or want to go at them. We're just saying, you know what, we wish we knew the reason why, but we respect, you know, for them to use the platform and keeping us here for a while, and like,
yeah,
you know, we appreciate it.
Yeah,
but
and the thing is that you guys know, right, on this pod, we push the edge, right? We push the envelope. Where we're not gonna lie about that. Like, we give you guys the real deal when it comes to getting in shape, when it comes to
money, girls,
dating. Improving yourself, etc. And unfortunately, to be able to give people real advice that they can take in real life and apply to the real world, you have to have uncomfortable conversations about uncomfortable topics in uncomfortable times. Guys, it's about to be an election year. You know what I mean? We're talking about certain points, and we've brought up certain points that might not be politically correct, right? That might not.
Nah, that's cap. That has nothing to do with the election. It has nothing to do with being conservative leaning. That's an absolute fabrication. Oh shit. Okay, so shout out to Jason Reels, the Jason Reels Network. Shout out to Jason Reels. Y'all go subscribe over there. Y'all seen him on the channel before. He just alerted me that O'Shea dropped a new video in regards to just Pearly things. So we're gonna react to that momentarily. Let's get it, y'all.
Necessarily align with everyone's viewpoints, right? And we've worked really hard to bring people on that have different viewpoints, right? Some of them very controversial, some of them that may or may not.
Man, this is going on too long.
We don't care.
Let me tell you, we don't care.
We've seen this before, so we don't care. We're gonna get back to cooking Pearl, and we're gonna react to that O'Shea video. But shout out to Yo Fam with the $5 super chat.
I'm getting rich.
Let me pull that up so I can read what you said. I thought they were supposed to be alpha and always brag about getting booted off. Wait, hold up. That scrolled up too fast. I missed it. Pull it up on the screen. I thought they were supposed to be alpha and always bragged about getting booted off YouTube, but sitting there crying. Shake my head. Yep. These guys wanted to solicit sympathy from their audience so they can move them over to Rumble and get these guys to pay for their memberships over there, subscribe to their locals, facilitate more money from the same guys that they were taking the money from on YouTube. So they know that these simps feel sorry for men, blame women for everything, and if you feel sorry for a woman or even look at a woman's situation objectively and realize that they may be right about something, you're automatically a simp. That's the mentality of these guys, these folks, and that's what the guy was talking about in that last video, and the folks that are targeted and gravitate towards this material. It's the mentality, it's their way of thinking. They're always sympathetic and feeling sorry for men instead of looking at them and being like, you need to hold yourself accountable for these decisions because it could have went a different way if you were being responsible and accountable.
The platforms, look at Rumble. They're taking a huge beating on the stock market.
Yeah.
I mean, they're up.
Despite having one of the best years for
we don't
them
care,
or
man.
whatever it may be. Rumble, I mean, like all in, you know what I mean?
Bro, we don't care. Start crying.
And it's but saving you guys is better.
Oh yeah, when he said this dumb shit.
Saving children, right? That was great. But saving you guys is better.
I wanted to point out a couple things. So,
Once again,
Crying to me, and I'm not having that.
when men are in a locker room together, speech is very unfiltered. They make stupid jokes.
bitch, what the hell do you know about what the hell goes on in the locker room? Once again, these dumbass locker room talk excuses. Oh, men say egregious, fucked up shit in the locker room. You're not in the locker room, ma'am. Who are you? Do you have something to tell us? Are you privately a transformer? Because I don't understand how you know what men talk about in the locker room.
I don't, I've never been in one, but I have heard, my brothers amongst friends, and it's like as a chick, you hear certain stuff and you're like, oh my gosh, this is how guys talk. But it's funny because, the manosphere is the men's space on YouTube. And it's so interesting because whenever
The manosphere is not the men's space on YouTube. The manosphere is the crybaby, unaccountable coward space on YouTube, in the disguise that this is a bunch of men speaking about men's problems. But it's not. It's far from that. It is far from that.
men have a space where they can just talk freely, women feel the need to police it. So that's where you'll get women that come in and say, well, it's about how you say it. You need to say it in a more feminine way, is essentially what they're saying. And that's why you can kind of tell when men are like led by some women in their lives, because they're always going to come in and say it's your tone.
Oh my God. Speaking about men being led by women in their lives, the quote unquote alpha males of Fresh and Fit who are led by you, following your actions, following your playbook, following the lead after you requested help by getting cooked. And this is what resulted in that.
But you say it rather than is the information correct? Because women care about how things are said. Men care about if things are true. That's
cap. That's absolutely cap. That's what they keep trying to put in the red pill in the manosphere space. On Fresh and Fit, they're like, it doesn't matter if I say 1 + 1 is 2 or 1 + 1 is fucking 2. You still get the message. But then they're campaigning for women to be nice. Oh, you're too obnoxious. You're too rude. You're saying things too masculine. I thought you didn't care about what was said in the message and the tone. I thought it was just about the substance of the message. Doesn't that sound contradictory? Niggas is full of shit. Everybody cares about how things are said to them, how people communicate messages. Women may be a little more emotional in the way they receive things, and sometimes you got to word it in a nicer way speaking to women. But men, you got to word it in a nicer way speaking to men too with women. Women have to walk, they got to walk on eggshells over some men's ego. So we're not going to act like these talking points actually are true. They ain't.
Right? And it's interesting too, because Ava and Preach do a video about Fresh and Fit, and the title is Fresh and Fit are in tears as YouTube kicks them out.
And guys, the channel has been kicked off the YouTube Partner Program. I shouldn't be admitting this, but saving children, right? That was great, but saving you guys is better.
Who is her editor? Who in the fuck is her editor? Why does it still have the later on part when you already reacted to that and you're halfway through and this is not a live stream, this is a pre-upload? Why didn't you use the clear version that you already reacted to instead of re-putting the later on here? Yo, your editing team, man. This is poor work. Oh, okay, never mind. This is my mistake. She's reacting to a new video. She's reacting to Fresh and Fit's video. So this, Yeah, what I said before was
Stop the cap.
it was cap. Never mind, y'all. Rare L.
Yeah, man, this is tough, bro.
This might be one of the last times you guys hear this intro.
No.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. You guys can hear this intro as often as you want if you go to Rumble.
And it's really interesting to see the responses of content creators that when Fresh and Fit get kicked off, because on one hand, they will tell men to be emotionally available. A lot of these content creators say it's okay to show your emotion.
Isn't this the same bitch that tried to get Sarah's channel completely removed? She tried to falsely misuse the copyright system as well. So, unaccountable much?
It's okay to be emotionally available, yet when a man does show his emotion, they make fun of him for it. And this is what they preach.
Fresh and Fit are the folks that say never cry in front of folks. They said cry in front of your best friends in a confined environment. Never cry in front of women. Don't cry in the public. And what do? Crying on air. What are we talking about?
Emotional damage.
And the next thing that's interesting is a lot of, and I'd like to say a lot of content creators came out.
That's facts, road to success. So is Anton. Anton with the Victim Olympics. We don't care about your feelings. Fuck all that bullshit. All that shit he brought to Dr. Phil. All that far right conservative grifting he went on Fresh and Phil. Yikes. Sloppy day. On Dr. Phil with. And then he wants to start crying on air talking about, oh, I'm saved this guy's life. He wrote me this message. Meanwhile, most folks speculate that his wife wrote that message. Nonetheless, let's get back into this.
So as you guys know, Fresh and Fit about 2-3 years ago had an instance where a girl was saying that you had to sleep with them to get on the show. Okay, that happened.
Above Ruby's TV, fake crying with booty shorts on.
I've seen him do it.
Happened like 2-3 years ago. And the issue was Abba and Preach did about like 20 videos on Fresh and Fit, basically alluding to Myron being predatory in some way. And what happened was they actually...
I remember Abba and Preach being impartial in that video and trying to look at it from an objective lens. They agreed that that woman that was doing the false, they said it was false allegations and a woman was trying too hard and she was doing all sorts of fuck shit. I remember them being objective and actually defending Fresh and Fit when they were falsely accused.
They left out a really important part of the conversation with that chick, where it showed he was trying to hook up with her and let her come on the show. Look at it.
The time that they were innocent. I'm not talking about the time that they were guilty, because they were trying to hook up with girls to get them on the show. They pointed that out too, and they did that shit. Guilty as fuck. Guilty as fuck.
He did that shit. Guilty as fuck.
I'm not. That's like a personal thing, but the truth of the matter is, they just believed the chick and covered her messages and took out all of the context that would show that Myron was innocent, that he wasn't doing what they said they were doing. And so, in response to this, Fresh and Fit at the time copyright struck a bunch of them. Like they copyright struck a bunch of people. And people are trying to say it's the same thing, them copywriting, because they were essentially getting Me Too'd. And it's really unfortunate because as a content creator, you can't really do anything about it. And, Myron was lucky because of what he does at the time. He couldn't get fired. But anyone in an average job would just get fired based on this unfair reporting at the time.
The normal person would be held accountable for their actions, is what she's saying? Wait,
So essentially a lot of people are celebrating and they view it as payback because they copyright struck, Myron, or Myron copyright struck a bunch of people years ago. Then the other interesting thing was that Abba and Preach copyright struck me. And then when we were going to take it to court, they ended up dropping it. But it's just...
Now, I hate when they use this selective wording. We were gonna take it to court. What court?
Stop the cap.
You send it to YouTube appeals. YouTube deals with it. It's a legal matter according to YouTube's process, but you're not going to court. You're not standing in front of a judge. You're not hiring a lawyer. We were gonna take it to court. Oh no, you took it to YouTube appeals, and they didn't want to deal with all the personal information getting sent back and forth. Is that it? What are we talking about here?
It's just really interesting, the double standards in the space, where whenever men are doing something unapologetically masculine, they're canceled, they have articles written about them, they're Me Too'd, where when the left does essentially the same thing, you know.
Stop the cap.
Now, this whole left-right shit, conservative grift, Pearl Daily, we see right through this, man. So they're the right, and the people that are talking shit about them are the left. You see the framing that this is what people do in the media. They try to frame things a certain way, and her dumbass audience will buy into it and be like, yeah, conservative Pearl.
Now, how many stories have come out of Destiny sleeping with someone that he collabed with, but nobody Me Too's him. But it's just interesting how we see these like double standards in the space where
pretty sure Destiny's sleeping with men. Pause.
When a guy does something that's masculine, you know, there is a target on his back. You know, people are trying to take them down. And I just think the most ironic part of it is the guys saying to be emotionally available are the ones making fun of them for basically losing something they put 2-3 years into their life's work.
Now, this is the thing. I'm not out here making fun of them for losing their platform. Most folks are not making fun of them for losing their platform. We are outlining that the folks that speak about accountability are very unaccountable in a time that requires just a little bit of accountability. You get on air and you cry, and then you garner sympathy from your fan base to get more money to uphold the infrastructure and the employees that y'all signed up for, that y'all were neglectful of, being irresponsible with such a large platform and all those people reliant on you. We're outlining how the people that are pushing accountability are very unaccountable. Because all they're really doing is pointing the finger of accountability. It's the women's fault. Coddling the feelings of their incel followers.
And guys, I don't think you really understand how much, like, as YouTube content creators, like, our livelihood goes into this stuff.
Yes, it does. As a full-time content creator, I understand that. As a full-time entrepreneur, I understand that. But that's why you have to be responsible and accountable for what you do with your platform.
Like, we literally put, like, a piece of our soul into this. Like, I genuinely believe content is art. And, you know, getting demonetized is devastating, really, to any content creator. So I think you guys should go support Fresh and Fit and sign up to their Rumble if you can. It's like,
I don't care how much money it is. What are you talking about?
If you don't get that bullshit out of my face, bitch.
I said I was gonna panel up. Y'all, but we actually have entirely too many videos to react to. I filled this reaction with too many videos. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking, actually. I don't know how long I thought this live stream was supposed to be going, but we're gonna wrap this one up, y'all. We will be back. No promises, because I'd be saying I'm coming back tonight and I'd be too tired and shit while I'm editing up these things, but no promises. We will be back. Shout out to Random University. I know I said I was gonna bring y'all back up with the panel if people were gonna call in, but I'll be back with a call-in show. If y'all want to do a call-in show, content creators in the chat, if y'all want to do a call-in show later tonight, drop a 1 and I'll set that up later tonight, and I'll reappear. I'll actually reappear. I'll give you my word, and I'll reappear. Call-in shows are easier to put together. We got 1-1. We're gonna need a panel. We got another one. Above Ruby's TV 1. Angela Knight 1. Okay, shout out to Angela Knight in the chat. Fuck, I gotta come back for real now. God damn it. Y'all gonna hold me to this. The features, we got the content creators. Yo, I need to shut up sometimes, man. I don't really be planning to come back. I just be capping. Jason Reels as well. God damn it. Y'all are just like,
I'm leaving here with something. You know what I mean? I'm from around the way. I'm leaving with something.
all right, so I'm gonna schedule a live stream for about 10 p.m. 10 p.m. for work for y'all. 10 p.m. 11 at the latest, because y'all know how I'll be pushing shit back. Y'all better arrive. I better see y'all. I better see Angela. I better see Grey Pill. I better see the features. I better see all y'all. Jason Reels, I better see y'all on the platform. I'll get some topics. We'll make it a good show. We'll have a call-in show. We're going to be easy on the reactions. Oh, what time central? This is 10 p.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. the latest Eastern Standard Time. That's what it is, Eastern Standard Time. The features, 10 p.m. is your bedtime. Then why would you vote 1 then, nigga? It's 5. What time do you think I'm coming back, nigga? We got shit to put together. But let's get it, y'all. Put that down in your calendar. I'll schedule the show. Let's get it. We out. Yeah.
That's all, folks.